Hey guys, welcome back to another video. What we're going to be talking about today is what to do if you're brand new to programming, right? So whether you've been watching a ton of YouTube videos, either my channel, someone else's, you've just discovered coding and you think, wow, okay, I want to make a career out of this. What should you be doing? Maybe a friend of yours just told you that they're a programmer, they're a software engineer, they're recommending it to you. There really is no clear and defined path to become a software engineer, especially if you have no experience programming. So I just figured I'd make a video kind of giving you my opinion on what you should be doing to maximize your chances and just the best way to spend your time. So I just want to give you guys like a basic plan, maybe for the first couple of months that you're learning programming, and what I think you should learn to really spend your time wisely and maximize your chances of either getting a job or just really advancing to that next step of becoming a software engineer. So the first tip I have for you guys is just to really keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things, because the complexity will really kill you at the end of the day, right? If you start off programming and you're like, okay, I want to learn JavaScript, and the first thing you want to do is build Facebook, right? You want to build Facebook or Airbnb. Very quickly, you're going to realize you have no idea what you're doing. And then you're going to give up. You're going to get way too overwhelmed, and you're going to think that you're not good enough to finish the project, and you're going to give up, right? So keep everything simple. The first projects you work on, make them really simple. Maybe just like a tic-tac-toe, or like, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be that. Just something very basic, because as you grow, as you gain confidence, then you can tackle on the more complicated projects, right? Second of all, I would recommend you guys don't just go and buy every course you can see. Don't just go on Udemy, pick 5 courses and just decide you're going to do that. You really want to avoid this course collecting, because you'll easily get into a trap, and then 3 months later you'll see that, okay, you completed 50 courses, but really you haven't learned much and you haven't really applied your knowledge. So it's a very easy thing to get trapped in these courses and just to take a ton of courses without applying any actual knowledge. A lot of people make this mistake, so I would definitely recommend you avoid that. And the third thing I would recommend is to build projects. You really want to build projects. Like I said before, you want to start off with simple projects. You want to apply your skills. You want to take what you learned, maybe take one course, maybe 2 courses, not like 20 or 30, but just take a course, take what you've learned, and then apply it, build a very simple project, right? This will let you use the concepts that you learned in the course, and also it'll give you a chance to, like, you have something tangible that you can demonstrate your skills with. You can put this on your resume even, and then once you start looking for jobs, you'll have a couple of projects under your belt, and it really will demonstrate that, like, you're passionate about what you do, you like coding, and you've actually built something. A lot of people don't build anything. They just take courses and then expect to get a job after, right? That's not how it works. You really, with the bulk of your learning will come when you apply what you learn from courses, and just, apply the concepts, solve a problem, and build a project. So what I would recommend is, let's say for the first 2 or 3 months, you just found out what programming is, you want to code, you want to pursue this as a career. What I would do is probably, learn HTML, CSS, learn JavaScript, learn Git, and then kind of delve into client and server architecture, right? This isn't like something you have to do. You don't have to do these. If you know what you want to do, you want to be an iOS developer, then maybe just start off with Swift. But if you kind of don't know what you want to really start off with the basics, right? There's no right language, like I said, there's no right tech. You don't want to overthink this, but this is just what I'm recommending. And I would say probably spend between 15, 20 hours a week when you start off. And then in a couple months, you should be in a way better spot. So I would spend 1 to 2 weeks, maybe even closer to a month if you have absolutely no experience at all learning HTML and CSS. You don't want to spend too much time learning this. You don't want to waste too much time. But like, really, if you have no idea what you want to do, HTML and CSS is a good way to get your feet wet and really just kind of explore the basics of web development. Then after that, you can probably spend 2 or 3 months learning JavaScript. JavaScript will really let you, use logic in your application, kind of build a more adaptive front end. And it kind of gives you a lot of knowledge that you can use on the front end and the back end when you become a better developer and go down your path. I would recommend, the bulk of your learning in these first couple of months should just be spent learning JavaScript. And then after these 2 or 3 months, where you've learned you spent a month learning HTML, CSS, you spent 2 months learning JavaScript, then you really want to be able to use Git. What Git is, if you don't know what it is a place where you can post your code online, you can collaborate with other people. If you make it public, it's open source. You probably heard this term a lot. And then it lets you, collaborate with others. Other people can see your code, can work on it. And then it's also a place to store your code and be able to retrieve older versions of it, right? This is called version control. And it's basically, if you make a mistake, you can undo and kind of go back. And this is what a lot of companies use in the real world. When you become a software engineer, you're going to be using it a lot. So if you can demonstrate that you can post your own project on GitHub, it's a very good way to demonstrate your skills, to like have a portfolio on GitHub, and it's a very good skill to have. And then also, as part of your learning, kind of just to complete all the concepts, learning about how clients and servers communicate together using HTTP, using web requests, stuff like that, that would also kind of give you very crucial knowledge about web development. So if you can spend some time learning all of these things, it'll definitely put you in a great spot after a couple of months. That's what I would do if I was starting from zero right now, not going to school, just completely self-taught. That's what I would do. So while you're learning HTML and CSS, right, the first month, you want to build a project along with that. That's the best way to learn. So what could you really build? You can build a portfolio for yourself. You can build a website just for yourself, maybe for a friend that wants to like start a business or something, who knows, just like a static web page, and it'll really let you apply a lot of concepts that you've learned. You really want to keep it simple. You don't want to create like Facebook as your first project. You really want to keep it very simple and something that you can do in a week or two, just to really apply the concepts and use what you've learned. So then while you're learning JavaScript, the 2 to 3 months you're spending learning JavaScript, what you want to do is build 4 projects, maybe 3-4 projects, because JavaScript is really the bulk of your coding. And you can build something like a game, a basic game. You can build like a simple to-do list, maybe a small calculator. You want to build something super simple. Don't build Airbnb. Don't build Facebook. It's going to make you give up, and it's going to overwhelm you at first. You're not going to become a developer in 2 to 3 months, right? You're not going to become a professional in 2 to 3 months. You really want to take a slow approach, get the ball rolling, and then tackle more advanced, more complex projects. Right? So guys, I hope you guys take this advice. Let me know if you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything you disagree with, anything you agree with, anything you might add that you would recommend someone do when they start off coding. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Take it easy.